Okay. All right. Thanks everyone for being here today. My name is Holly Logan. I work at the Temple University Career Center. Today we're here with Darien Fripps. We're doing a portfolio review with him as an alumni professional. I'm really excited to have two of our owls with us sharing some of their work. So I'm going to go into a little bit of a talk about the Career Center, just in some services that we provide. So thanks everyone for taking time. If you haven't used the Career Center services yet, I definitely recommend. We're completely virtual right now for the foreseeable future, at least through the end of the spring semester, but we have a lot of online resources at our website, and I'll put all this stuff in the chat too. But definitely check in we have a whole great team of career coaches who meets with current students and alumni as well. So definitely take advantage of that. You can talk about like different career paths that you can reach into, like assess your potential career path using like your hobbies and your interests and like even your major too, and see where those things align. In addition to doing a lot of the things around, looking at your resume and cover letter and all that stuff. If you're getting ready for an interview, they can certainly set up like practice or mock interviews and record that and help you find places to improve. And as I mentioned, I'm on the employer partnership side of the house. So I help different organizations recruit students and alumni at Temple, and I focus primarily on performing and visual arts and fine arts, and as well as law and legal services and government nonprofit organizations. So it runs the gamut. We put on events like this to try to connect professionals with students and recent alum to try to help develop different potential opportunities and networking and things like that. And our my big push today is promoting Handshake. Definitely keep using it even as an alum. There's a lot of opportunities on there for you with jobs and other events that I'm going to talk about now. So in addition to today, we are still programming for the next couple of weeks, going strong. Tomorrow we have a great program called Equity Employment Empowerment, Career Conversations with Equitable Employers. There's a variety of organizations that are going to be there and talking about like being a person of color in an organization and what that looks like in whether it's in the recruiting process or the hiring process, or what it's like once you're at a company and connecting with other Black, Indigenous, and people of color in those communities. And then April 1st and 2nd, so this Thursday and Friday, we have some rapid resume review opportunities where you just want those 10 minutes, check in with somebody, you can pick a slot from there. And then April 6th, which is next Tuesday, we have the Senior and Alumni Career Fair. And so the alumni portion is really for recent alumni. So folks like Zach here, who are 2 or 3 years out at most, or are graduating now and just wanting to connect with those folks with full-time jobs and opportunities, things like that. If you're in need of some professional clothing, so even in these virtual spaces, sometimes it's really important, even from like the waist up, to have that professional dress. And we have a partnership with an organization called The Wardrobe here in Philadelphia, where we can connect students to them to get a free set of clothing and or discounted options too. Some really nice stuff that they have there. And I can put all this information in the chat if you want to set up a call with Brichet in our office to get that appointment with the Wardrobe, and they will kind of meet with you like a personal shopper and help you pick out different things to create that look for you. And here's some of our general information for the Career Center. Again, I'll paste this in the chat just so you have it, and some of our socials to follow. And so now I'm going to introduce our guest of honor today, Flip Fripps, or Darien Flip Fripps, or Mighty Flipside Esquire, a person of many names. And so, I must say, I've also been friends with Flip for a very long time. We go back to an Asian religion class here at Temple University in undergrad. Flip is a Philadelphia-based hip-hop artist and videographer who, according to the Philadelphia Metro, is truly a Philly underground legend. The owner of Provided Media and StayOnTheBeat.com has been involved with the art of emceeing since he was 8 years old and was one of the original artists working with the legendary Rough House Records. He developed a style so diverse that he shared stages with Exhibit, Nelly, Jedi Mind Tricks, Cool Keith, Del the Funky Homo Sapien, P-Funk All-Stars, and members of the Grateful Dead, as well as landing a spot as a finalist in a national beatbox competition alongside Scratch from The Roots. His diverse style stems from growing up in the golden era of hip hop with artists ranging from De La Soul to NWA, from Public Enemy to Kid and Play. The artist and the sound of that era had a huge influence on his lyrical style and his global point of view. That view is know what you mean what you say, don't be afraid to say it, but say it in your own voice. As a teacher, he uses his point of view to encourage his students, and as one half of the group Electric City, along with DJ Skip Mode, he shares his view through lyrics to showgoers. Electric City's first release, Everything, Everywhere, All the Time, in 2007 on Rope-A-Dope, Broken Records, received accolades for Mighty Flip's energetic lyricism. The latest independent release, King Friday, had underground heads buzzing for his intense style and delivery. Along with MCing, Flip has received awards for his freestyling and beatboxing talents. He's also the founder of Let's Rock Recess, Philly's #1 kids DJ dance party, and then Hip Hop Lives, Philly's longest running hip hop live music monthly showcase, and the co-founder of the Beats and Rhymes Producer Showcase in Philadelphia. Flip stays busy creating music and music videos, promoting and hosting shows, and educating the youth. And he's here today to share some words of wisdom with us. So I'm going to turn it over to Flip now to share, and then we'll be happy to open up to questions. I have some questions that I would love him to share, but I definitely want for Zach and Darien, other guests to ask too. So without further ado, Flip, take it away.
Yes. Hi, how you doing, Zach and Darien Diaz? I wanted to just really quickly introduce myself. Mighty Flipside, you can call me Flip. And as you can tell from my friend, she actually is my friend too, Holly. I am quite a pluralist. And the pluralist idea comes from the passion that lives inside me kind of first manifested itself in, making music. But my true dream was to create a hip hop video, just a music video. And I wanted to be like a real deal, like the real thing. And just that passion just lent itself to opening other doors. I mean, just that dream alone allowed me to, if you want to shoot the video, you have to have a space to do the show. I started doing shows. If you wanted to shoot the video, you got to know the tech. Then I'd open the door with all these texts, and then you connected with all these people. And it's not because I can't really decide on what I want. It's because that germ of that dream just kept growing. It's not the fact that I don't know what to do. It's that I know what to do, and it just takes on different forms. So I want to encourage you all to really don't let the fire go out, and really just dig in deep and nestle in with that passion, because that's going to give you a lot of success. And that's just what I do. I'm very passionate about all the things that I do. I, with a capital L, love what I do. And I continue to, and hopefully until I exhale my last breath, I'm going to be doing it to the fullest. So that's all I got.
Nice. Well, I'm going to start off with a couple of questions, and I don't know if Darren and Zach are going to want to hop in, but why pick Temple? What was it about Temple University?
Me personally?
Yeah.
Well, to be honest, this is a great story for this audience, because when I went to Temple, okay, let me rewind. I'm a Temple freshman. And I came from a small high school and wasn't into it. I really wasn't. I stopped going for a little bit. I just thought in my mind, I just wasn't able to do it. And because, like I said before, because of my passion, I ended up going on tour. I ended up touring with a couple of guys, a couple of bands, and we were going around the area, the United States, to different colleges. And I was meeting these college kids, and they weren't as smart as the people that I met in Temple. I'm not just blowing smoke. I was everywhere. I was West Virginia U, Maryland U, Rutgers. We toured all the colleges in the United States. And I'm like, if these bozos can go to college, I definitely can go to college. And I really did. I'm not a hater. My life is love. Let me get straight. But I just felt as though the challenge that I got, the esteem, the thing that I wanted, the quality of things that I wanted was in the Temple when I was there at Temple. And I firsthand saw different colleges. I was blessed in that way to see different colleges. And I said, I want to come back. And, I came back for the quality, and I stayed for the just the breadth of quality, the professors, the instructors who were real life situations, telling me the real deal, people who were on television, people who were on the radio, talking to me sincerely, really had my back, really had my interest. It meant a lot. So I stayed there and stayed connected since then. And that's one of the reasons why I chose Temple, because of the quality of the education that I deserved, and just for the love that I got in return as well.
Cool. Yeah. Darien or Zach, do you have any questions? Because I can keep going.
Let me know if I'm like coming on too strong. I mean, like this is what you see is what you get. This is not contrived. This is how I talk for real.
I can totally second that, because I was in my junior year about to enter the master's program, or considering it, and my band had the opportunity to go on like a cross country tour. And the song that we may hear, Tori, is by that band, Twin Beds. I'm the drummer for that band. And it was because, I always appreciated Temple since I went there. I love being in the city and being surrounded by incredible professionals who are actually in the industry, in the music industry, all the great music professors and stuff. Phil Niccolo, Jack Klotz, all these great guys, Joe Kraus. But yeah, going on tour and seeing other people at other schools, other musicians, it made me appreciate Philly and Temple and just all the heart that's there so much more. So I totally agree with you. After going on tour, it was like, oh yeah, I really, really appreciate Temple a lot. There's some great professionals there, like great people, great friends, great connections.
I recorded in Phil Nicolo's original spot at 444 Street here in Spring Garden,
oh my
Philadelphia.
God.
The original Studio 4, like where Cypress Hill and Mariah Carey was, like where Aerosmith was.
Yeah. And he let us go out there and sort of tour it. And one of my favorite producers now, who produces most of the music scene that I'm in and listen to, Will Yip, he went to Temple for Phil Niccolo. It's just like that kind of professionalism, like people are going there just to experience, those types of people.
So maybe we can, I would love to keep the conversation going, but maybe we can switch over to sharing the work that was submitted and then hearing some of Flip's feedback. So we have two loops from Darien Diaz that I'll share. And I realize with Zoom, I have to share video and audio, so it's going to just be this like media player screen, so hold tight.
People in the business, we get it. You have to apologize.
Yeah.
You're like, whatever.
Yeah.
Facts.
All right, so let me share and make sure I share with audio.
Do you want me to give you my knee-jerk reaction, or?
Oh yeah, so Darien, I'm gonna share the clip Cool Loop 1 first. Can you introduce it?
Yeah, so these are more so ideas, really. They're just kind of like labels as loops at the moment, but they're just ideas right now, and I just wanted some of your input. And yeah, I feel like the best way to do this would be, if you could be as don't hold back, basically. Say whatever's on your mind, I guess, whatever you think about it, even if it's not your style, I guess. So
all right, cool, I'll share.
Okay, cool. Um, so there's three things that I just want to say off the top of my head. One, my brother, in the future, let your music speak for itself. In the future, don't put the listener in the box by saying this may not be your style. In the future, if you can, let the music speak for itself, but just by itself. Okay? When you are playing something for someone, this is a different kind of environment. What you can or should do, if you could, what one of my idols, Prince, what he would do was he would never ask anyone if they liked it or not. He would just put it in the club and just watch what people did. So oftentimes what I would do is just put my music on and see what people do. The best compliment you can get is, who is this? Even better compliment is, you didn't do this. This ain't you. No, it's not. No, this is you. No, it's not. That's compliment you can get. So that's one thing I wanted to tell you. Two, before I give my actual critique on it, there is an artist, kind of a, he is kind of a cultivator by the name of Fab Five Freddy. I'm not sure if you ever heard of this guy. He made one of the art movies, Wild Style. He's a curator, if you will, of art. And his concept was he just put a frame around it. And what I mean by that, I love this concept so much, is if you see a record album and you see that some people go out of the way to have these beautiful pictures, or if you look at some record albums, maybe from like the 90s rock records, they're off. They're like not really good quality pictures, but the fact that they are an album cover gives them artistic integrity. So they put a frame around it, which means this would be wacky if you saw it in your grandma's like kitchen drawer. But the fact that you put the Campbell soup can in a frame gives it a whole different life. So when I listen to this music, I'm putting a frame around it. I say, where does this belong? My first reaction was, I mean, if I was doing, I don't know if you're familiar with a rapper named Open Eye Eagle or somebody like that. Open Eye, it sounds like a track that he would be on, kind of a left of center kind of hip hop. Very something that you would hear from like Thundercats early work. It was like a left of center kind of, and what I thought was interesting was the picking of the guitar that was like very high in the mix, but it was very lo-fi. So I don't know if that was a sample or an artistic choice, but to me, it didn't sound like something that was for pop consumption. It did not. It sounded like something that was for left of center rap. Sounded like somebody who, if you were a big fan of Open Eye, you'd be really into that. And he has a big audience, so he's doing something right. I thought it was interesting that it was a very clean sounding guitar, but a very lo-fi mix. And I could see that being on an instrumental record, lo-fi hip hop, or a rap album that's on non-consumption for the pops. But I personally like it. I would bang that. So I hope that was a good enough feedback for you.
Yeah, absolutely. So everything that I make, I'm very new to making my own music and stuff. So everything I make is just used with this mic right here, and I just have it hooked up to my guitar amp. So that was not a sample. I was messing around with the bridge of the guitar, and I don't know if you're familiar with a whammy bar or the
Yeah.
tremolo bar or something.
Yeah.
But so I don't have one of those, but I just kind of like lifted the bar or the bridge itself to kind of get like a, I don't know, out of tune type of thing. But yeah, I really appreciate all those notes.
So, but
took some notes as well.
I'm
so.
sorry, we can go on forever about this. Two things I want to let you know, because we live in an age where you are getting the visual with the music all the time. seeing how the sausage is made, I think is going to be part of the appeal. Nice looking kid. You can have like it be a part of your mystique that you can see how you're doing it. The lo-fi shit is what's dope. It's like, I don't know if we can curse, but sorry. But the lo-fi thing is like kind of like interesting. It makes it interesting. Now I'm more interested. I actually want to see how it works. All right. And don't discredit yourself like I'm just new. There was a rapper by the name of Soulja Boy who changed the world, with like $100 worth of equipment. Like don't, and I think this is a great dichotomy between you, Darien, and Zach, because the two things that came to my mind was Soulja Boy and Anderson .Paak. Soulja Boy really, I admittedly didn't know what he was doing and changed the world with one song that wasn't even mixed. That wasn't even a mix. They had to take the song from the MP3 and remix it. It was on the radio, and they were like, this is not, I can't play this. And it started going. And then there's Anderson .Paak, who is a talented musician and really did not get a hit until he did that song with Bruno Mars like last week. So it's all these different things. It's timing. So don't discredit yourself, okay? Because, the invisible will make it happen if it's supposed to happen. So don't trip, all right? So give yourself a little bit more credit. That's my main critique.
Yeah, I just want to say too, not that my opinion matters. I think that's awesome. Like that was banger material for sure. I don't know where you want to take it or what you want to turn it into, but if you do sort of go with that lower fi, use it as almost a sample type of vibe, and you put some 808s, like use that as like the intro, put in some 808s and hats and kick in there, that could be exactly what Flip said, like Amine, open mic, all these people like for sure could hop on that. And yeah, I think that's banger material 100%. I was vibing to it.
Do you do vocals, Darien?
I do.
Sing or rap or both?
A little bit of both. I've been doing some writing more. I have never actually put rap to my music, but I have a couple songs where I have sung on them.
Cool. I mean, I would like, it would be cool if people could, I think you would get more of a pull if they saw a little bit how the sausage was made in your part. I think that would be kind of cool. The fact that it's lo-fi. I mean, because to me, I couldn't tell. I was like, is this a sample? I was like, what kind of break is this? I was like, I don't know that break at all. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, what is that from? So that's dope.
Yeah, people try to capture that lo-fi type of sound, and you just have it because of your limitations, but really limitations can be your sound and your style. And I think it is so cool, like the fact that me and you are here right now, because my master's project was all about sort of the intersection of affordable recording technology and where indie artists are taking it, which is why I made that project anyway, the EP, because most of it was just on like my Blue Yeti, because we have that capability now, which is so cool. So keep killing it, yo. You're doing a great job.
Thank you guys very much.
Second clip?
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, the second loop. This one, I'm trying to remember which one I was kind of going for more like hard beats. And to kind of get I guess you can say like a Tribe Called Quest type of vibe. But I guess, see for yourself, I guess. So.
All right, ready? Okay.
That was fire right there. That was chunky fire right there. That was dope. That was dope. Guns up. You okay, buddy? Oh, yeah, that was dope. That was real dope. And what I like about it the most, first of all, it immediately jumped in and hit me. Now, if I heard those two tracks on the same album, I'm like, this is an album I would run to. It would be an album that I would listen to over and over again. And immediately what I thought was, I didn't think of Tribe. I mean, I see what you're saying. Like his little cousin, not Tribe little cousin, not like Tribe Called Quest, but it's like in the family. You can tell. I immediately I like the way it was. The groove sounded a little bit about. It sounded really in tune. I like the way that it was like someone who knew music theory and someone said, "Screw music theory." It was kind of like when Quincy got wild, when Miles started getting wild. It was like when Coltrane started going left. It was like, oh, is he that smart that he's like breaking the rules? That's what I was thinking about. It was like some dark, spooky jazz sample. And because I know a little bit about how the sauce is made, I'm thinking maybe that was live, and which is even more intriguing about the artist. So yeah, I love it. Thumbs up. And the lo-fi thing kind of works. And the bass line was dope.
Do y'all know that?
Yeah, I'm mostly.
Sorry, Darien, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'm mostly a bassist for the most part. So I like to incorporate a lot of bass stuff into my music. But other than that, I really.
Yeah, I love that one.
I don't know if you guys know the artist Khruangbin. They've blown up a lot.
The band.
Yeah.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, Khruangbin. It's a weird
Khruangbin.
pronunciation, but it's like Khruan.
I know them very well.
Bin. Yeah. Incredible musicians. That sounded like something straight off their last record, but with keys on top of it, because it's just guitar, drums, and bass. And that bass line, so slick for that song. But it sounds like something that Laura Lee, the bassist, would just rip over top of that band. So killer, dude.
And the mix was a little interesting. Like I said, it was like, are you messing with me? It was like when you listen to early RZA, I was like, does he not know how to mix, or is he doing something does he know something I don't know? I like the take on it. I really do. It's like you're like messing with me. Like I was bothering me. I'm like, am I stupid, or is this guy a genius?
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it.
Cool. All right, so maybe we can switch over to, oh, sorry, Darren, did you have a question?
I'm very sorry. I had one more question. Well, actually, are we still doing A like afterwards, right? All right,
yeah,
cool. So
yeah. So after, yeah. So maybe is that good? Okay, cool. So right now we'll turn over to Zach, who will share a song from one of his albums with his band Twin Bed. Zach, do you want to introduce Tori?
Yeah, sure. Initially, my master's project took on the form of a record that was about 9 different artists throughout sort of the tri-state area-ish, a little bit more towards the east too, like bands from Ohio and stuff. But it took on a few different forms, but because of limitations with where people wanted their music to go and what purpose it was going to be for, this ended up getting released, this project, on Bandcamp, on Spotify, all streaming services. These 3 bands are all from Philly, Ohio, and North Carolina. They're bands that I met and have been a part of through touring, that huge cross-country sort of tour. We did part of that with another band that's on this project. Either way, the project is just sort of a representation of affordable recording technology, what you can do with it from home. And really, it's just kind of an example of producing remotely and where you could potentially go with it, because my goal with the project was just to produce a record of DIY musicians who aren't signed to a label, who are battling quarantine in different ways. So the project was really an outlet for different unsigned musicians, and I just wanted to produce it.
So you produced it and mixed it?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So we'll share.
And also, if this is any more interesting, feel free to play a little bit of each song if you'd want, or if you don't have to do all of Tori, it's totally up to you. Or you could listen to just Tori. I don't care what you listen to on it.
Okay, let's try for Tori and see where it goes.
Yeah, that's totally fine, for sure.
All right.
Waking up to your voice, even when it's only in my imagination. Translating the words you write into your vocalization. And I love the ways you make me think, ways you don't even know. And I love the thoughts you have me bring without ever saying so. Tori, I love the words you even for me, even when it's only text on a screen. I can't totally describe how much it means to me.
Yo, so I love it. It reminded me of a bunch of my favorite bands combined. And the singer sounded like the Smiths, but like Girlfriend in a Coma Smiths, not like Solo Morrissey. I'm not into that. But like, yeah, I like it, I loved it. That was cool. The vocals was there. The mix sounded a little bit strokesy, but the playing sounded like really, I don't know, man, like Smoking Popes, like bands I love. Like it reminded me, that kind of rock, forgive my age, that kind of rock deserves to live on cassette. It just sounds better on cassette. And the integrity of the mix that sounded so, you hitting the tape so hard that it sounds like I found a tape and played some of my old rock mixes. That was dope. I don't know if that was by design. The songwriting was good and catchy. It's like kind of like the reason why rock is not on the radio is because it doesn't sound like that anymore. Sorry for my age. It's really dope. I wanted to see where it kind of went. I'm interested to see where you're going to go from there, if that is one of the songs, because you could really pigeonhole yourself to being a lo-fi rock band. And I've seen people do that, and it's like kind of boring. Like, where do you go from there? You know what I'm saying? But that was dope. That by itself, as a little sandwich by itself, was really dope. I also am wondering I don't know what fidelity is being lost over the Zoom call. So I really would like to check it out personally, both the tracks if I could. But like whatever the fidelity added, and if it's not there, you should add that to the mix, because it was like, it not only did it sound good, the invisible part of the nostalgia of it made it sound even better, if you know what I mean. Like that was dope too. It was like me hearing a song I heard before for the first time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It was dope. It was good. I loved it.
I really appreciate that. Thank you. And yeah, it's interesting hearing it because it sounds way more like trashy over Zoom, but not to a degree that
But it works. It's like kind
yeah,
of works
it did
for
work with it. Like I did add some of that because of the lo-fi-ish recordings. I added like, especially with the bass, the kind of growly, garagey type of sound. But hearing it over Zoom, it's like adds a whole nother level of that, which is interesting because it almost makes me want to add it more kind of to it.
But I will say this, my friend. After the baby is born, you got to let it grow up. After it's gone, dude, it's like I don't know. I mean, I do the. Don't get me started about Kanye West, about how he just redefines how people release songs. He gets on my nerves, but I mean, I love him. I can't stand him at the same time. But like when the song is out, it's out, and that's one of the things you gotta like kind of live with. The song, you gotta remember that the songs make the band, but the band makes the songs. So, you put the song out, it grows. Some of your favorite artists put out duds. Some of your favorite albums put out a great song every 10 years. But, the songs just kind of come out. You are a living, breathing human being, and the song should reflect your growth. So what I'm saying is once you release it, baby, just go. Just let it. That's a hard pill to swallow. When the baby is born, when you decide to pull that lever, that's just what it is. Kind of something happened to me this summer. Somebody put a release of mine out and it wasn't ready to go. And part of me felt relief. Like, I wasn't kind of done, but like, it's in the world now. It's in the world now. I just kind of have to live the way it does,
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt with the deadline of the master's project material. It was like, I have to submit these songs and that's that, like the project will live how it lives.
Yeah, but it's great. It's really good. I don't think that the quality, I think because I know there's all different kind of beasts that live in the room, the songwriting, the mix, the guy's breaking up with his girlfriend, like there's all kind of crazy stuff going on. But that being said, there's so many other things to make a song kind of go, and we don't live in the 80s or 90s and 2000s anymore. It's a whole other world. Songs can go in a lot of different ways. A song can go and you never even heard of it. Like a song can go and it's like part of a wave or a movement you never even heard about, or it becomes the next thing you see on one of my favorite bands is Vacationer, a band from Pennsylvania. And I feel like I'm their biggest fan. And I'm like, I know. And then I saw their commercial in the Super Bowl. I was like, holy smoke. It's like, who knows? It takes a while,
Definitely.
Nice. So now, it's more just like free flowing Q&A. Darren, Diaz, did you want to hop back to that question you were going to ask earlier?
Yeah, well, first I also wanted to say that Zach, that song was really awesome. It reminded me of some jam bands I listened to. I don't know if you're familiar with Goose. They're a band from Connecticut. Anyways, I really loved it. Something that always gets me is like the underlining harmonies of the chorus. I know it's simple, it's in every song, but I really appreciated that. But
Oh yeah.
To my question, I feel like I don't know if this is a dumb question, but I'll ask it anyways. How do you sample legally?
That's a very interesting question. That's a loaded question. Did you want to talk about that, Zach? Do you know about that?
Wow, that is a loaded question for sure. I actually wouldn't even really know where to start. I mean, a huge part of Temple was learning about copyright law and stuff. That's a tricky thing to do. I would say one thing that you're doing already that is great is making your own, is like sort of making these sounds that you'd want to hear in a sample yourself. I know one producer I love, Kenny Beats, sort of does that. He streams a lot of his stuff now, and that sort of made him develop his really on the fly skills of like, I want to hear this kind of sample in my music. But sampling popular music is hard. It's super hard. It's like legally, the longevity matters a lot, how long the song has been out years wise, and what's in like a Creative Commons law now and stuff like that. But beyond that, there's still hip hop producers who release music that we listen to who are sampling huge artists. But they're really breaking it down to a certain degree where a lot of people wouldn't be able to tell, and algorithms might not be able to pick that up. It's a tough legal battle, and a lot of people are paying for the samples to be on streaming services and stuff too.
So how can you sample legally? There's like 4 or 5 tiers. Tier 1, you got to pay to play. The reason why Kanye West can sample so because he's like rich enough to pay for it. It's kind of been like the way of the affluent. I'm so rich that I can still sample records. It becomes that kind of thing. There's that. There is kind of like what Madlib does. Madlib sometimes finds people who cover the song and samples that. And then that way he'll kind of guise it as like, did I play it or did I not? It makes it kind of harder for you to find it. But sometimes people find out what it is usually, and usually a lot of the writers get it. So they're sampling the people who cover, like find a record who covers. There's reinterpolations of songs. People actually replay the song. The way that Biggie did "I Got a Story to Tell" originally was a sample, but someone replayed the idea of it. And then there's a reinterpolation. And then there's kind of what Pharrell does. Pharrell just like, how can I make this song feel like that song by Frankensteining it together? But like oftentimes what I do is I'm on music sites. I shoot music videos, and like literally the other day, I'm shooting a rock video and the guy's like playing around and I'm like, what is that? They're like, oh, nothing. And I put my video camera on, start filming it. And he's like, oh, this is just like a seventh chord progression. And he's like, I'm gonna use this. He's like, okay. And I use it for a beat. And he's like, oh, snap, what is that? It was like, that was you. And I just sampled it. So it's like I sampled it from some of the source material that I literally had around me. If the sample is that obscure, if you can find this episode of the Brady Bunch where Greg was in a band, and I don't know because I don't watch Brady Bunch like that, but like somebody called this house and the drum beat that the boy was playing in the back was so dope that I'm like, if I sample that, no one's going to know that this came from the Brady Bunch. Like who would think that? So if you can find it, or chop it up too. That's what Dilla did. Chop it up so it's unrecognizable. So those are ways that you can sample legally.
Gotcha. Yeah, I didn't know it was that loaded of a question. I just thought it was like black or white, like
No.
like you can or can't. Yeah.
Zach, what is that service that it's now more, it's a service where you can go to find samples? It's STEM Lab, is it called? It's like a website you go to for samples. And it's kind of like the same way you would get a new movie from Netflix. You would just get the sample, and then when you pay for it, you're paying the rights, like $55 or $100 for the sample, and it's done. You're like done.
Yeah, something lab. I think that name might have been right. I forget exactly.
STEM Lab. I'll find it for you later. But it's like it's more easy. But if you're like on the low end, like what you're doing, keep it mysterious or keep it original.
And if you're just two websites I love, freesound.org, totally free, and it's just all Creative Commons. There are certain ones that will say you have to give it credit, but you can filter them to just be sounds and songs that are, yes, Free Music Archive was going to be the second one. I love that website because that one too, if you're just looking for like an emotion or a mood or a genre, you can kind of filter it that way. And that's totally free to sample that kind of stuff.
And don't undersell yourself, Darien. Like, you live inside there. Your soul has a story. Part of sampling, the beauty of sampling is finding the sample. And if you're like a beat digger like that, sure, but sometimes that emotion is in there. Maybe you can play it. Maybe you can describe it to someone and they can play it. Maybe you can describe it to someone and then they'll just, oh, exactly, that's exactly what I was thinking. So don't sell yourself short. The song is jumping inside of you because it wants to get out. Just find different ways to make it come out.
Sounds good. Thank you guys for the information.
Nice. So I was going to ask Flip if you have advice for current students or even recent grads on skills like either if it's technical skills or interpersonal skills or whatever. If you had what should students or recent alum be working on right now to make themselves more appealing to either pick for your team or your crew or your band or your group to make something, whether it's sound or a video or what have you? What skills would you recommend they develop?
You got to work on the currency that is worth the most. And that currency that's worth the most is your time and energy. Because if people like you, they want to work with you. If people trust you, they'll invest a little bit more in you. If people love you, they'll stand by you. Like if you work on that currency, it really goes a long way. Really say what you mean, do things, and then follow through. That's a big part of it. Like, I can't understand. You can't buy and sell that. That's a big currency. I want to work with you because I like you. I like Holly. I'll do anything. She's so great. She's so nice and so fun. I'll do anything, right? Like, so if you really got to work on your currency. And what I mean, work on your currency is also there's something that you really want. And most of the time, if you ask for help or request something from someone that loves you or likes you or can believe in you, they'll say yeah, 100%. Because, and I think this is a great dichotomy or kind of a gradient here. Being a master student in mix and being new to the mix, none of that matters, yo. To be honest, none of it matters. The thing that matters is the germ that's making the music. That's the thing that matters, yo. Exhibit said people spend $100 million and they still don't sound tight. Spend $100 million, still don't sound tight. It don't matter. It's about what you do with it. And so work on that currency. The second thing is don't stop learning, man. If you don't know how to do something, become excited. I don't know how to do that. I can't wait to learn how to. Like, there's a lot of, I don't know how old you guys are, but my little sister, my baby sister, she's like of the generation. She's like, well, I don't know how to do this, so I give up. No, come on, dog. I don't know how to do it. I can't wait. How do I do it? I just got to grill, Holly. I just got to grill. I don't know how to grill wings. Guess what I just did? Spend a few hours learning, Google it, yup. Learn how to, and then you put cornstarch on. I never heard that, then you click, yeah, really just go at it. And then you end up getting another tool in your utility belt. It adds to your currency. It's that simple, yo. It's nothing simple, but you know what I mean. I keep saying, I said to my girl yesterday, I was like, love is like a great body. It's free. Having a great body is free, but you got to work at it. You got to work at it. You got to keep it and maintain it. It's really easy to let it go, let your body go to the wayside. That's easy. But, have passion and keep working on it. It takes, just like having being ripped, it takes work. It's free. It's free. Anyone could do it, but it takes you got to keep on it. And you can tell, just like having a great body, you can tell who's working on it and you can tell who's not, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not body shaming anyone because I'm not
No.
in perfect shape. I think you
It's
know
like,
what
it's
I
just
mean.
like a muscle. You're creating
Muscle,
it like
yes.
the idea of yeah, it takes work to keep it in shape. Yeah, for sure.
Does that make sense,
I know,
y'all?
oh, go ahead.
Does that make sense to you guys?
Good analogy.
Yeah. Flip, I know you and I have talked about a project that you hope comes into existence. I was hoping maybe you could talk a little bit about Spacebar.
Right. All right. So one of the reasons why I'm working with Holly now, and to really kind of circle back to what we're talking about, is one of my passions is, hi, buddy. One of my passions is to really shorten the length between what a young person wants to have, the passion of you guys and girls and whoever want to do it. I want to create a school where you can learn in real time how to use the mix, how to do a show mix, in real time, how to learn how to do hospitality skills, like in real time, actually have kind of like a living, breathing venue, but for students who are actually learning the business. Spacebar is that. You'll be basically interning or externing at this facility, but everyone who works there is also doing that as well. It'll be living and breathing with the integrity of everyone. It's kind of like a tightrope walker, but it's like, if you believe in the team, if the team is strong, you will succeed. And if the team all works together, it will be successful. It's the only way that the only way you'll know how to succeed in the real world. And that's what the space bar is. You know, if we spend 2 or 3 days learning about some of the things that we'll be doing in the venue, and then the rest of the week actually executing it. And some of the things that we're doing right now is looking for people to, do internships. It's an internship / mentorship, situation where students or participants come in, have an ambition of their own, talk about their own skills, sharpen their own skills while working to support all of everybody there. And that's what the space bar is. And that's the thing that I'm building. Again, I didn't know how to build it. I have no idea. But what I'm saying is every year I put another brick into that house. You put a foundation for it. I didn't know how to run the longest running hip hop monthly in Philadelphia of all time, but I did. I didn't know how to make a really popular kids event. I was like, I just became a dad. I threw one together and we're the front page of the Enquirer. I didn't know, I just did it, I didn't know how I would put together this, this production team. And then I started working with Rough House. It's like, you just do it. So one of the things is like, I'm looking toward people like Holly to help me build this dream. And it doesn't seem so crazy when you start seeing some of your dreams come true. So that's one of the reasons why we're working with Temple today, is to reach out to people, to start building this internship, start building this dream, start building this future called the Space Bar. That's it.
Yeah, putting it out into the world, planting the seeds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now I'm excited. So I'm wrapping up here. Flip, how do you want people to either connect with you or follow you on socials, or what's your advice for getting in touch with you?
You can email me at flip@stayonthebeat.com. All right, and my social media is Mighty Flip Side. Stayonthebeat.com is my website. It's up. It's just not current. It will be current soon come. Does anybody do WordPress? Because they just updated.
Yeah, I know WordPress.
They just updated my the back end to my WordPress. And like every time I move, it's like completely messing everything up. So I'm just gonna have to go through a new format. So So yeah, so the website's up. I just have to do a new framework because like
Nice.
my update they did is not working anymore. So
Well, thank you for sharing that. Everyone should check in with Flip and see how you can keep building your network and growing. As you move into an alum, I'll put in the chat
and
too.
folks, sorry not to cut you off, Holly. Please send me your stuff.
Mhm.
I'm like I'm wacky, man. I listen to music all the time. I'm in it, man.
Yeah.
I like produce. We're making a record this summer. I mean, yeah, this summer. Like I make music. I produce people. Like it don't stop. Like I'm wacky. I'm like I love to do it all the time. So send me your stuff.
Yeah, you're excited. It's great. The
Yeah.
energy is great.
Thank
So
you.
this is it, folks. Zach, Darien, thank you so much for being so present and available. Flip, I can't thank you enough for staying in touch and you know, sharing your skills and your knowledge and your experience with current owls, and hopefully we'll keep going from here. So
All right.
thanks, everybody.
Anytime.
Thank you for
Holly.
having us.
Thank
nice,
you, guys.
Nice meeting you, Zach
Yeah.
and Darien.
Great to meet
Nice
you
meeting
too.
Nice meeting you.
Enjoy the
too.
rest of your vacations and your